The morning sunlight poured into Baby Bunny's cozy burrow as he bounced out of bed with excitement. Today was the day of the Great Bake Sale at school, a day Baby Bunny and his friends had been looking forward to for weeks. Baby Bunny imagined how fun it would be to sell treats and see their classmates enjoying all the goodies. As he headed to school, Baby Bunny spotted his friends Tano the turtle, Kavi the mischievous fox, and Hera the little squirrel waiting near the school gate. They were equally thrilled about the bake sale and had decided they would bake their treats together. "Are you ready to make the best cookies and cupcakes?" asked Baby Bunny, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "Absolutely," Kavi replied, puffing up his chest. "Let's make enough to sell out by noon." "I can't wait to start baking," added Hera, her tail twitching eagerly. The group hurried over to the school kitchen, where the bake sale supplies were waiting for them. Each group of friends had their own section, and Baby Bunny's team chose a spot near a window with a view of the playground. They pulled out ingredients, excitedly chatting about all the things they wanted to make. "We'll make the best chocolate chip cookies anyone's ever tasted," said Baby Bunny proudly. "And let's do cupcakes with extra frosting," Kavi suggested, his eyes gleaming with enthusiasm. "Wait," Tano cautioned. "Shouldn't we check the recipe before we start?" But Baby Bunny was already grabbing the flour and sugar, and Kavi and Hera began cracking eggs and measuring out butter. They all seemed to think they knew enough about baking to get started without looking at the recipe. "We're pros. We don't need a recipe," Baby Bunny declared confidently. The friends poured and mixed ingredients in a frenzy, throwing in chocolate chips, a bit of flour, a pinch of salt, and some sugar. Each one had their own idea of what would make the cookies extra special, and they added a little of this and that without keeping track. "More chocolate chips," Kavi insisted, pouring in an extra handful. No, more sugar," Hera countered, scooping in even more. Soon, their baking trays were filled with the haphazard mixture, and they proudly placed them in the oven. Baby Bunny set the timer, and they sat back, eagerly waiting for their delicious treats to bake. After a few minutes, a strange smell began wafting from the oven. The friends exchanged worried glances, wondering what could be wrong. The timer beeped, and they rushed to pull out their cookies and cupcakes. But when they opened the oven, what they saw made them gasp in horror. The cookies had melted into a lumpy, gooey mess, with chocolate chips scattered in odd clumps, and the cupcakes were lopsided, some burnt on one side and raw on the other. "Oh no!" Baby Bunny exclaimed. "What happened? I don't think this is how cookies are supposed to look," Hera said, wrinkling her nose. Kavi picked up a misshapen cupcake, and it crumbled in his paw, leaving sticky frosting on his fur. "This is a disaster," he groaned. Tano, who had been the most cautious, sighed. "Maybe we should have followed the recipe after all." Baby Bunny's ears drooped as he looked at the mess they'd made. He felt disappointed, but he didn't want to give up. "Okay, let's try again," he suggested, determined to make things right. "This time, let's actually follow the recipe." His friends nodded, realizing that rushing through had only led to a mess. Tano found the recipe book, and they gathered around to read it carefully. "Step 1. Measure the ingredients," Tano read aloud. He carefully measured the flour while Baby Bunny measured the sugar. Hera cracked the eggs gently, and Kavi added the chocolate chips, this time following the exact amount listed in the recipe. They worked as a team, each friend taking their time with their steps and helping each other along the way. When one of them wasn't sure how to do something, The others stepped in with encouragement. As they mixed the ingredients, they noticed how much smoother and better the dough looked compared to their first attempt. They shaped the cookies with care, and Kavi made sure each cupcake had just the right amount of batter. With everything prepared, they placed the trays back in the oven and set the timer again. This time, instead of rushing, they watched and waited patiently, feeling hopeful. When the timer beeped, Baby Bunny and his friends held their breath as they opened the oven door. A delicious aroma filled the kitchen, and they looked at their freshly baked cookies and cupcakes with wide smiles. "Look at them," Hira squeaked with joy. "They're perfect." Each cookie was golden and round, with chocolate chips melted just right, and the cupcakes were fluffy and had risen beautifully. The friends cheered, high-fiving each other for their teamwork and patience. After letting the treats cool, they packed them up and carried them to the bake sale table with pride. The bake sale was buzzing with excitement as students and teachers came to check out the goodies. Baby Bunny and his friends displayed their treats, and they looked so tempting that people began buying them right away. Within minutes, their cookies and cupcakes were a huge hit, with students lining up to get a taste. Baby Bunny's heart swelled with happiness as he watched everyone enjoying their hard work. A teacher who had tasted one of their cookies approached the table with a warm smile. "These are some of the best cookies I've ever tasted," she said. Baby Bunny beamed, feeling proud. "Thank you. We worked really hard on them." The friends sold out of their treats before noon, just as they had hoped. They even raised enough money to contribute to the school's charity fund, which made them feel even happier about their efforts. As they cleaned up their table, Baby Bunny looked at his friends, feeling grateful for the lesson they'd learned together. "I'm so glad we decided to try again and follow the recipe," Baby Bunny said. "Our treats turned out much better when we worked together." Kavi nodded, smiling sheepishly. "Yeah, I guess sometimes taking your time really does pay off," Hira added, and working together made it even more fun. Tano, always the wise one, chuckled. "I think we learned that baking and life is much better when you have a little patience and follow the right steps." The friends laughed, each of them proud of the way they had come together to make the bake sale a success. They knew that they would always remember this experience, not just for the delicious cookies and cupcakes, but for the teamwork and effort that had made it all possible. And so, with their bake sale adventure complete, Baby Bunny and his friends headed home, excited to bake again one day, with a recipe and a lot of patience.